Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare. Everyone please. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everyone please, heart and soul. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. From heart please. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Louder please, louder. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Sunday Feast program today. Please kindly move to the front, more front. No, probably you're okay. you can sit there. Please move more forward. And there is someone's bicycle in the shoe area. Could you remove the bicycle from there, and you have to keep it outside and secure to the fence. I repeat, someone's bicycle in the shoe area. Please remove it, and you could secure it to the fence outside. Thank you.
So we can sing together. Just chant the name as we do. From your heart and soul. And please a little bit louder so Krishna can hear us, even though he can also hear us from our mind. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everyone please. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Brahmanande, Hari Hari Bol Man. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Kicha Gopinath Radhe. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra. Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati ka Shobha Jaya Jaya Gaura Jana Vitatavani Jagamana Lobha Jana Vitatavani Kiba Dakhine Nitai Chan Vame Gadadhara Nikate Ajita Shrini Vasa Chatradhara Vosiya che Gorachan Ratna Simasani Aroti Korena Brahma Adidevagane Arote Ibanara Hariyadi Kori Chamaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Vashadigaya Kiba Shankar Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karatala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Madhura Mridanga Paramarasala बहु कोटि चन्द्राजिनी वदन उज्ज्वला Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Shunyavadi Pashatyadi Shakarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Prabhupada. Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya.
Now we'll offer obeisances by kneeling down, touching our forehead to the ground, like pranam. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishto Vishnupad Paramhans Shri Shri 108 Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya, BBT founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishto Vishnupad Paramhans Shri Shri 108 Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जाय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जाय। राधा कृष्ण मिलित तनु विप्लम्भ विग्रह श्री गौर सुंदर की जाय। श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जाय। श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। गिरि गोवर्धन की जाय। श्री श्याम कुंड श्री राधा कुंड की जाय। श्री श्री राधा क्षीरचोर गोपीनाथ की जाय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाय। श्री जगन्नाथ श्री बलदेव श्रीमती सुभद्रा महारानी की जाय। भक्ति विघ्न विनाशकारी नृसिंहदेव की जाय। प्रहलाद महाराज की जाय। तुलसी महारानी की जाय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
That side or there? Please sit. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Requesting everyone to please have a seat. And everyone sitting on the floor, please move forward. Please slide forward, please. Thank you. Kindly request everyone to settle down as soon as you can. Thank you. If you can all move forward, please. Thank you, Prabhu. Everyone, please move forward. Everyone standing behind by the prasadam table, please have a seat. And everyone, please move forward. We have lots of space in the front. Hare Krishna once again. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Thank you all and welcome to our weekly Sunday Feast program. Before we get started, I'm going to pass it on to Shanti Mataji, who has a very important announcement on behalf of Child Protection's Office in Toronto. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Shanti Devi Dasi. I'm with the Child Protection Office. Part of my role is to make sure children are safe in the temple, which means kindly please, any child under the age of 12 cannot go unsupervised. So you have to be with your child anywhere in the temple, including going to the washroom. And also we ask that they do not run around in the temple room. It can be very dangerous. I know it's a lot of fun to weave through people running around, but it's not a good practice. And just like that, perfect example. There you go. The mom's after. Okay. And also the same goes for Janmashtami. Those who are attending, it's going to be 10 times the amount of people. So kids can easily get lost amongst the people, so just have an extra watchful eye. And I'm around anytime if ever anyone needs any help or support. I'm here. You can ask me questions or anything you want. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shanti Mataji. We'll get started with our program for today. Before that, would like to remind everyone, you probably know, that this week is the festivities week. We have Sri Krishna Janmashtami happening on the September 6th, which is a Wednesday, is less than a few days away. We will be having a special morning program. We always have morning program, 4:30 a.m., but on the day of Janmashtami, it's extra special with lots and lots of devotees participating. So if you'd like to take the first darshan of the day, 4:30 a.m. is the time when the doors will be opening and you can get darshan. We will of course be open through the day, and from evening 6 p.m. onwards, we will be having kirtan, bhajans throughout the night. There will be a special abhishek at about 10:45 p.m., 11 p.m. And once in a year, we have midnight arati for Sri Krishna, and that's going to be happening on the Wednesday night, September 6th. So I will be sharing more details, but please do block off the day of Wednesday and the Thursday as well, since it is Srila Prabhupada's Vyas Puja on the Thursday, September 7th. So without further ado, we'll get started with the program for today. We have with us a speaker who's not new in our community. He's spoken and facilitated classes many, many times, His Grace Rupanuga Prabhu. As he makes his way here, I would like to introduce Prabhu. So as I mentioned, Prabhu has spoken many times in our community. He was in fact born into a family already practicing the tradition of Bhakti Yoga. So he brings many, many decades of experience practicing Bhakti. And currently, he serves along with his wife, Krishna Bhakti Mataji, in our temple as a pujari, and this is just one of his services. He regularly speaks and gives spiritual seminars, discourses across the GTA and across Canada. He does a lot of virtual Srimad Bhagavatam classes, Nectar of Devotion classes, so many more, just to name a few. So today he's going to be speaking on the topic of Krishna's birth, so that we can set the mood for the upcoming festivities of Sri Krishna Janmashtami. So please join me in welcoming His Grace Rupanuga Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, and welcome everyone to the Sunday Feast program. We'll start with singing Jai Radha Madhava, and then we'll take it from there. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरा बनचारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ, जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरा बनचारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टो विष्णुपाद परमहंस श्री श्री 108 श्री AC भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य BBT फाउंडर आचार्य शील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। राधा कृष्ण मिलित तनु विप्रलम्ब विग्रह श्री गौर सुंदर की जय। श्री श्री राधा क्षीरचोर गोपीनाथ की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ श्री बलदेव श्रीमती सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। भक्ति विघ्न विनाशकारी नृसिंहदेव की जय। प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी पुचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So welcome once again. As the announcement, the topic is the birth of Krishna. Actually, it's why does he appear? How frequently does he appear? And what are the primary and the secondary reasons for his appearance? So we know that Krishna, when he spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjun, there he talked about how frequently and how he appears, why he appears. And you may have heard a very famous verse, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. He's saying that whenever and wherever this decline in religion, an increase in irreligion, he appears. But when we think about it, he doesn't really need to appear when that happens, because he can send his representatives like Srila Vyasadeva, he can send the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, he can send Srila Prabhupada, and they can very well explain and establish the religious principles. She doesn't really have to come for that. So it cannot be primary reason for his appearance. Then he says in the very next verse, excuse me, he says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskrita dharma sasthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. So he's saying, to protect my devotees and to kill the demons, the miscreants who are bothering my devotees, I appear. Well, we can use the same logic. he doesn't really have to appear to kill the demons. I mean, he's sitting in everybody's heart as Paramatma, right? Does anybody know the size of Paramatma? It's the length from this end of the small finger to the end of thumb. That's how long Paramatma is in our heart, everybody's heart. So he's residing on the heart. He can easily raise his hand and turn the valve off. And that's it, demon is dead, right? So he doesn't have to appear. He can cause a pandemic and kill all the demons. So he doesn't have to appear for that. Right? So that also could not be the primary reason. Then he says, Yuga Yuga, I appear from millennium to millennium. Well, okay. So here's what happens. Krishna is known as the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. What that means is that he is the origin of all other Supreme Personalities of Godhead, like Lord Ram, Lord Nrsimhadev, two very famous incarnations. There are billions and trillions of incarnations. We only know about few of them. Of course, 24 are very famous, 10 are even more famous than the other 24. But my point is, the billions and billions of them, we know about only a few of them, and he appears as incarnation. Why? Because he's worried about something. Krishna actually is the most worried personality anywhere. What is his worry? Us. We are his children, and we are suffering. Everyone, no matter how rich, how famous they are, they're suffering for some reason. If nothing else, the problem of birth, death, old age, and disease is there for everyone. So he watches us suffer here. He's saying, I want to help you. I want you to come to me where there is no misery. So it is for that reason, one of the reasons. For that reason, he appears in different incarnations, in different times. So how does that help? Well, the way it helps is that Krishna and his incarnations have 6 opulences. He's the strongest, he's the most beautiful, he's the most famous, he's the most knowledgeable, and he's the most renounced. And so, by one or the other opulence, he attracts normal, general people. Because somebody is attracted by power, somebody is attracted by fame, somebody is attracted by strength, somebody is attracted by education or knowledge, so on and so forth. But when he comes, he brings all of them together in one personality, hoping to make him attractive to non-devotees as well as devotees. And that's why he does the pastimes. It's not like he comes and just kills somebody and gone. No, there are pastimes when they appear, simply to attract the people. When they become attracted, they'll perform devotional service to them, and hopefully they'll become real devotees and then go back to where Krishna or his incarnations lead, the Vaikuntha Lokas or Golok Vrindavan. But that's for his incarnations. And as we know, when we worship Lord Ram or Lord Nrsimhadev, what is our mood? You are the Lord of the Lords, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I'm your servant, please accept my service. Right? Is that what you do? What that means is that there's a formality in that relationship. You are the majestic God. You are the majesty, you are the excellency, you are the Lord of the Lords, King of the Kings. I'm nothing, just insignificant servant. I love you, but as an insignificant servant. So what happens in that relationship? Well, I'm the master, you're the servant. Yeah, fine, you serve me, I'll accept your service. There's a formality. You can't put your arm around your boss. You can't walk up to Mr. Modi or Mr. Trudeau and say, hey buddy, how you doing? And put your arm or hug. Can't do that. There's a formality. So when you serve Krishna as the God, that formality is there. So Krishna is saying, you know what, I don't enjoy that. I'm not attracted by a devotee serving me with that kind of formality, with that kind of formal relationship, with that kind of understanding that I'm the God and you are nothing. And he says that, yes, you can become a pure devotee in that mood. It's not that you cannot become a pure devotee. Pure devotee simply means, I serve you, Lord, for your pleasure. I don't want anything in return. So, for example, there's a very famous Aarti in India. It's Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare, Sukh Sampatti Ghar Aave, कष्ट मिटे तन का, Swami Jai Jagdish Hare. Which means, I serve you, but I want you to take away all my troubles and give me all the property, all the happiness, everything that I need. Well, that's a business deal, right? That's not love. So Krishna is saying, I'm not impressed by that, and I'm not particularly attracted by that. So yeah, you can come, do your thing, you get your thing in return, and then I'm done with you. On the other hand, he says that I actually come down to the material world to enjoy my relationship with my pure devotees who serve me simply for my pleasure, and they love me so much they don't even realize I'm God. So actually it's kind of ironic because total non-devotees don't agree he's God. Pure devotees in the mood of loving him, also they don't know he's God. In other words, they start treating him like their brother, their friend, their son, their lover, some relationship in which they feel that the relationship is more important than him being God. As a matter of fact, when they get any evidence of him being God, they reject that. So, for example, when Krishna was in Vrindavan, he killed the demons, and all the friends say, just somebody helped you, you didn't do it. When he lifted the Govardhan hill, his friend said, no, we put the stick up to keep the hill up. You didn't do it. Another friend said, no, I'm a Brahmin, I do austerity. It's the power of those austerities that lifted the Govardhan hill by itself. You were not doing anything, just pretended. My point is, they don't accept his authority, they don't accept his godhood. Actually, they think they're better, they're higher, they're greater than him. And he says, that's what I like. For example, Mother Yashoda also, in the mood of mother, she was worried that if she did not feed him, he'll die. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, provides all of us food. And she was worried about him not getting enough food, or he'll get weak or die. She was worried about protecting him from demons and other people. So once again, he says, this is what I like. So in that love, she could also bind him with a rope. I mean, who else can bind Krishna with a rope? But because her love was so strong, she could bind him with a rope. And Krishna says, that's the real reason I come. To be able to enjoy my relationship with my pure devotees who don't treat me like God, but they treat me as one of their own, and sometimes they consider themselves superior to me, considering me inferior to them. So for example, Radharani will chastise him, and he says, I really like that. His friends will say, let's play this game, and if I defeat you, then you have to carry me on your shoulders. And Krishna will do that. One time actually Krishna said, no, I don't want to do that. He lost the game, and they said, okay, pick us up on your shoulders and run like a horse. And Krishna said, I'm not doing that. And they said, no, that's the rule. You have to do that. And Krishna said, no, I'm not doing that. Why not? He said, I'm the son of a king. I'm a prince. Therefore, I'm not going to do this. They said, but that's the rule of the game. You have to do it. He said, I'm not doing it. They said, okay, get out. They threw him out of the game. Imagine Supreme Personality of God had been thrown out of a game. And they said, go sit over there under that tree, and just don't come out. So he's sitting there. Nobody's looking at him. Everybody's ignoring him. Finally, he says, somebody call me back, please. And nobody's calling him back. So he starts to cry. He says, I left Golok Vrindavan to come here for this. But again, at the same time, this is what he enjoys. He's coming here for that. So the point is that he's trying to establish one simple principle, that he wants all of us to come to a point where through the process of devotional service, we can love him, start loving him so much that we can forget his God and establish some kind of a relationship where it's all about love, not about serving him for something in return. So that's one point. We have all heard the stories about Krishna stealing butter, right? Anybody who's not heard any story about Krishna stealing butter? That's what's known as Makhan Chor, butter thief. So basically, some people ask, well, why does Krishna need to steal butter? His own father had 900,000 cows. He could have as much butter as he want all day, all night. It will not be finished, and really good quality butter. But he'll go and steal somebody else's house. Why was he doing that? Because the gopis whose house he'd steal from, they'll get very upset if he did not steal from their house. They waited for him to come and steal, and they'll watch him steal. It gave them a lot of pleasure. Sometimes they will go to Mother Yashoda, Krishna's mother, and complain that your son came and stole butter from my house. But it was not their intent to complain. They were using it as an excuse to see Krishna one more time. That's how much they loved him, and they would do anything to have one more opportunity to see Krishna. So that's why they would do that. This became a game. Every day somebody will complain to Mother Yashoda. Somebody will get upset because Krishna came to the neighbor's house, not their house, and they'll pray that, my God, please, Lord Narayan, please send Krishna tomorrow to my house to steal butter, because we can't wait for him to come. So once again, my point is that that's the kind of relationship Krishna was having all these pastimes for that simple reason. So I'm going to talk about some of these pastimes that again explain the loving nature of Krishna and his loving interactions with his devotees. So one day, Krishna was sleeping, and in the morning, Mother Yashoda came to his bedroom to wake him up. Now, if you have any small children, you know how difficult it is to wake up your child. School time, beta, get up, school time. The child doesn't want to get up. The bus is coming, get up. Child doesn't want to get up. So Krishna was the same way. That's what children learned. Krishna was doing the same thing. So Mother Yashoda is trying very hard to wake Krishna up. He doesn't want to wake up. Finally, he woke up. And Mother Yashoda said, please get ready to go take your bath and all that. And Krishna said, Maya means mother. Maya, I'm very hungry. I want you to give me some butter. Mother Yashoda said, no, first you get ready, take your bath and all that, and then we'll give butter. I said, no, mother, I'm very hungry. I need now. So Mother Yashoda said, no, you know what? Take your bath, and your father wants you to do something before you eat. He said, what does my father, Nanda Maharaj, want me to do? She said, he wants you to study scriptures. And Krishna said, how do I benefit from reading scriptures? And Mother Yashoda said, you gain knowledge. So how do I benefit from getting knowledge? You get the knowledge of the absolute truth, Brahman. How does knowing Brahman benefit me? Well, once you understand Brahman, you get mukti, liberation. And he said, why do I want to go to Mukti Lok? Because there's no misery there. Oh, okay. Will you be there? No, I will not be there, because mukti means you have lost, you have no more connections with anybody. You're on your own. He said, oh, will Baba Nanda Maharaj be there? She said, no, there are no attachments anymore when you get mukti. Oh, okay. What about my friends and my cows? No, nobody would be there. What about Radharani? No, she will not be there either. Remember, mukti means no attachment. So she said, then why do I want to go there? I'd rather be here. She said, okay, anyway, but get up and get ready, and then we'll feed you butter. So he gets up, and he's given the butter and all that. And then, as usual, he goes to the forest to take care of the cows and all that. As he was in the forest, an older gopi came to Mother Yashoda. As usual, she was looking tired. So Mother Yashoda said, what's the matter? And she said, I am so tired. So she said, why? What's the matter? She says, your son came to my house and he was stealing butter. So this time, because I know you never believe us that your son will steal butter from our house, you want proof. So I said, okay, I'll catch him and bring him to your house, and that will be the proof. So I caught him. And then I said, I'm going to bind you with a rope so I can take you to your mother. So I tried to bind him with a rope, but I was having difficulty. So he started laughing. He said, Maya, you don't even know how to tie me with a rope? Let me show you how to bind somebody with a rope. And when he said that, I looked at him. I was completely bewildered by his beauty, his beautiful face, even more beautiful smile, and this loving, beautiful lotus eyes. And I just totally lost my mind. Without thinking, I gave him the rope. So he took the rope and bound me up nicely. And he started laughing. And he went and stole all the butter, and his friends were there, gave it to them. He called the monkeys, they came, he gave the butter, and he left. As he was leaving, my mother-in-law was standing outside. And she said to him, "Oh, did you steal butter from our house?" He said, "No, I'll never do that." So she said, "Well, how come this butter in your hands?" And he said, "Oh, my mother bought me these new bangles for my hand. But they're kind of metallic, so with the sun they got very hot. So my hands were hurting because of the heat, so I put my hand in the butter to cool it down." He said, "Oh, okay. Then how come this butter on your lips?" "Oh, there was a mosquito on my lips, so I went like this, and the butter came on my lips." She said, "Okay. And then how come you're feeding the monkeys?" "Oh, they were so hungry, they just see, look at them." So anyway, my point is that she was making all these excuses, and these women will go to Mother Yashoda to talk about this, not to complain, but just talking about this past that was so relatable to them, they'll go and complain to him. Anyway, so when Mother Yashoda heard all that, she says, "I've had enough. Every day I'm hitting this complex. Today I'm going to go to the forest and chastise Krishna without waiting for him to come home." And she picked up a stick. She started walking towards the forest where she thought Krishna was. And she was really rushing for many reasons. One reason was that she had never been out of her house. So this is the first time she was going out on her own to the forest. Second thing is, last few times she tried to do the same thing. Lord Balaram will stop her. And the reason was, he will say, "Mother, where are you going?" And she'll say, "I'm going to catch Krishna." He will say, "You don't want to do that." She says, "Why not?" He will say, "You cannot tolerate what you will see." She'll say, "What will I see?" He said, "First thing you will see, that's walking in the forest bare feet. And there are pointed roots, there are husks, there are dry grass, there are stones, pointed stones, pebbles, and you'll be worried all the time that Krishna will hurt his souls." Well, what else? Well, you will see that Krishna is wrestling with his friends, and his friends are defeating him and then ordering him to carry them on his shoulders. You will not be able to tolerate that. Well, what else? Well, he will get hungry, and the friends will sit down with him. They will eat everything you have cooked for him, and they'll feed him what their mothers cooked for them. Obviously, queens' preparations are much better in quality than the other normal cowherd girls, but that's what will happen. And then Maya, sometimes they'll tell Krishna to open his mouth and say, "Here's rasgulla coming in your mouth," and they'll put a flower in his mouth, and everybody will make fun of Krishna. You will not be able to tolerate that. And many other things you will not be able to tolerate. So she said, "That's okay. Okay, I have to go and see." So she went this time, got to the forest, and hid behind a tree. And she was watching what Krishna was doing. Everything Lord Balaram had said came true, and she was getting really upset with her. But she said, "I just want to watch everything." By this time it was evening. Krishna said, "Oh, last Leela time, I have to go." So he told his friends, "I think there's a calf that walked away. So I'm going to look for him. You guys go home. I'll join you later." So they left, and he went straight to the forest where all the gopis were waiting for him. Mother Yashoda followed him, again staying behind trees. And then the whole dance started. And so many gopis, they made circles, concentric circles around him, and they were going in circles and chanting, you know what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Of course, much more beautifully than I'm singing, but that's the song they were singing. So she was watching all that, and she was so ecstatic seeing this whole thing, she fainted in ecstasy. Soon the dance finished, and everybody was leaving. Radha and Krishna were walking together, and they realized there's something not right with our mother. So they looked for her. They found her unconscious on the ground. So they picked her up. Krishna created a lake at that time, a pond known as Sheetal Kund. Sheetal means cold. So he created this pond with cold water, and then Mother Yashoda, Radharani and the Sakhis, they took their bath in that kund, and they were revived. That Shital Kund is still there, by the way. Next time you go to Vrindavan, look for it. Lord Chaitanya also went and took bath in that particular Kund because it's so important. As you know, Radha Kund represents the liquefied form of love of Radha Rani for Krishna. The Shital Kund represents the liquefied form of the love of Yashoda Maya for Krishna. So again, very, very important, to do this. One time, Krishna was in his palace, in one particular room. In those days, they didn't have these cement pillars. They had these pillars made of jewelry, and they were very reflective. So Krishna was there, wanting to steal butter from a pot, that he saw his reflection. He didn't realize it is reflection. He thought there's another boy trying to steal butter. So he goes, shh. Don't make any noise. You want to steal butter? That's okay. You can also steal. I'll also steal. But if you make noise, you start talking, Maya will know. She'll catch us. So just be very quiet. Mother Yashoda happened to be watching this going on. So she caught Krishna and said, what are you doing? He said, nothing, Maya, nothing. You stealing butter? No, Maya, I will never do that. You know I'm a good boy. I'll never do that. This boy, pointing at the pillar, is stealing. And you know, Maya, I told him to not do that. He wouldn't listen. I actually got angry at him, and he got angry back at me. Again, not realizing it's the reflection. So, Mother Yashoda was just laughing her heart out and saying, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing. One time, Mother Yashoda also got actually angry with him. And she said, Krishna, you stole butter again, didn't you? I said, Maya, I went to the forest early in the morning. I worked so hard taking care of the cows and the calves and the boys, and I was making sure everybody was okay. I've just come home so tired, and you're accusing me of this? You should know I'm such a good boy. I'm so innocent. I can't do anything like that. I have no need to do all this. So he was giving all these reasons. And he said, Maya, how can you be so cruel? And he started crying. When Mother Yashoda saw him crying and saying, how can you be so cruel? Her heart melted. And she said, no, Krishna. No, you didn't. You didn't steal. Then Krishna looks at her and said, actually I did. And Mother Yashoda said, this game is not going where I want it to go. She said, I'm going to test him, how honest is going to be. So she put her hands around her face, hid her eyes with her hands, and started crying and saying, Krishna, why do you steal butter? But just to make me happy, you're saying you didn't, then you're saying you did. I'm not sure what is it. So I believe you didn't steal the butter. When Krishna, and she was crying. So when Krishna saw her crying like that, his heart melted. So he hugged her and said, Mother, actually I did. So she said, oh, okay. So one last pastime before my time runs up. It's 7 minutes, okay. I think I have time for one more. So, we know Krishna as Makhanchor. We know Krishna as Chittachor, he steals our heart. But how many of us know he's also Anguti Chor? Anguti means the ring. So we're going to talk about that. So what happened was, one day Radharani was with her friends and she said, I want to learn how to dance from Krishna. And Lalita and Vishaka, the two most, the closest associates, friends of Radharani, they started laughing. And they said, you are Gandharvika, you are the best dancer anywhere. You're going to learn from Krishna, what will he teach you? In the last dance, we have to teach him the steps. We have to teach him how to keep up with the beat. He cannot teach you. What are you doing? If you really want to learn, we'll call some professional and he'll teach you. She said, no, I want to learn from Radha, Krishna. So try to convince him, say, no, I want to learn. They said, okay, fine. So we'll call him here to your house. He'll be very happy about that. And then you learn him from here. And she said, no. I want to go on the banks of Yamuna and learn it from him from there. So it's okay. So next day, they decorated her. So basically, the way they would decorate her is like, in addition to the clothes, she'll have what's called ankle bells. There are 4 types of ankle bells. One is called Nupur, which makes the sound of kartals. Other is called Cardial, which makes the sound of the swans. Third is called Bichua, which makes the sound of sorry, I lost my, I'll come back to me. And the fourth is called Nupur, which makes the sound of the veena that Saraswati plays. So obviously very, very melodious, and so she wears those. And then she has exactly 64 pieces of ornaments that her assistants will put on her body. So she put those 64 pieces of that, and then she left to go to meet Krishna on the banks of the river Yamuna. So she goes there, Krishna is already there, she receives her, and they sit down and they start talking and all that. And after some time, Krishna says, you know what, Radha, I want to teach you how to dance. Which is what Radha wanted anyway. So she says, okay. So now he's teaching, and he tells her the 7 types of dances that I'm going to teach you. One is called Pada, which means using your lotus feet. Second is called Kati, which is like waist. Third is your Mudra, which is your hands. Fourth is Griva, which is your neck. Fifth is your face, the facial expressions. Sixth is the Netra, which is the eyes. And seventh is the whole body. So using different parts of the body in different combinations, you have different types of dances. So he taught her all those things. And then they said, okay, we're tired now, just walk a little bit in different groves by the river Yamuna. And as they were doing that, Krishna stole one of her rings without her knowledge. Anyway, the evening came and she left to go home. So when they go home, the ritual is she'll change clothes, she'll take off all her ornaments, and one servant is assigned to count 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 64. But today, 63 and there's no more left. So she says, there's one ornament missing. Can we have a little bit of quiet on this side, please? I can't talk and I guess no effect of that. Anyway, so it's okay. So she said, there's one piece missing. They figured out it's a ring. It's a ring that Radharani's mother had given her as a birthday gift. So now everybody said, Krishna must have stolen it. Radharani said, no, Krishna will not steal. Why would he steal a woman's ring? I must have dropped it. So tomorrow morning, let's go look for it. And Lalita and Vishaka said, no, it has to be Krishna. There's no way you lost it. So they said, well, how do you prove it? So they said, well, we'll call Krishna to your place. He'll be very happy to come. And in front of everybody, we'll search his body and then find the ring. So they called him. Krishna came very happily, opportunity to meet Radharani, and all the Sakhis surrounded him. And Lalita and Vishaka started searching, and they found the ring. And they showed it to everybody. Hey, the thief, he stole the ring, we found it. So Krishna was very embarrassed, and he left. Now, Radharani is saying, okay, we shouldn't have done this, but Lalita and Vishaka is saying, not only should we have done that, we're going to do more. And they convinced Radharani to go where Krishna would be sleeping after lunch. So every day after lunch, they'll get tired, the boys will get tired, and Krishna will find a place and sleep for a couple of hours. And so this day he was sleeping with Madhumangal. And Madhumangal was worried that Krishna will wake up, he had done this before, sneak out to somebody's house, steal some butter, come back and eat it by himself. And Madhumangal said, can't do that. So he tied his leg with Krishna's leg before they go to sleep. Now Lalita and Radharani came, and these two boys were fast asleep. So they stole his blanket, Krishna's blanket, Krishna's flute, Krishna's mukut, headgear, peacock feather, his stick and his buffalo horn. They stole all those things and they went home. An hour or two later, Krishna woke up. Oh, sorry, one more thing. And Vishaka or Lalita, she shaved Madhumangal's mustache in a kind of haphazard way. Little bit here cut, little bit here cut, little bit here cut. So kind of disfigured him and then left. So Krishna and Madhumangal woke up, and Madhumangal said, Krishna, where's your flute? Where's your blanket? Where's your stick? Where's your buffalo horn? So she's looking, this is not there. And then Krishna looks at Madhumangal and starts laughing, what happened to your mustache? And they're saying, what could have happened? And Krishna said, I know. Radharani came with Lalita or Vishakha and they did this. So what to do? So they said, well, we'll take our revenge. I mean, that's all we can do. Okay? Now the plan was Madhumangal and Krishna will dress up as old women. You know, big veil and all that. And they'll go to Barsana where Radharani's palace is and they'll start crying. So they go there and they start wailing, really loud crying in a very pitiable voice. Oh Krishna, where are you? This is Krishna and Madhumangal, dressed as old women, crying, oh Krishna, where you are, we can't live without you, we're missing you so much, please show us before we commit suicide. So Radharani heard that, so she told her friends, go look who's crying. So they went downstairs, they found out there's two old women crying for Krishna, they have not seen Krishna for a long time, they are ready to commit suicide because they are missing Krishna so much. So Radharani heard that, her heart melted, she said, what should we do? And they said, what can we do? I mean, Krishna is not here, there's nothing we can do. So Radha said, but I want to help them, how do I help them? So Lalita said, wait a minute, you got all the paraphernalia that Krishna has. You got his blanket, you got his stick, you got his flute, you got his mukut, you got his peacock feather, you got his buffalo horn. Why don't you dress up like Krishna? Put blue color on yourself and stand in a distance. They will think it's Krishna, they'll be happy. So I said, okay, that makes sense. So she dressed up like Krishna, put all this paraphernalia on, comes downstairs, and somebody goes to these two old women and says, look, Krishna is over there. So they look, it's too far, so they say, okay, we have to walk. So they walk like old women, go near there, and they're looking, and they say, yes, 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 that's Krishna, and they throw their blanket out. You know, there is Krishna and Madhumangal, and they snatch all the things, the blanket and the flute and the mukut and peacock feather and the buffalo horn and all that, and they point to Radharani. Ah, you are the one who stole everything. So okay, Radharani said, okay, that's my turn to be embarrassed. Anyway, the point of all these stories and pastimes is Krishna is trying to attract all of us through these pastimes to explain to us how best to love Krishna, only for his pleasure, not for our pleasure. Serve Krishna in some kind of a relationship where, as we all used to loving our brother or sister or son or father, in that mood where it's about them, it's not about us. We are so used to wanting to ask something from Krishna. And he's saying, you can do that, but that doesn't make me happy. That does not establish a close relationship. So all these pastimes are done to illustrate to us how to love Krishna in the right way and get to that point. Now, we're not there yet. We have a long ways to go. But the process of devotional service that we're performing today, if we are sincere and we pray hard enough under the shelter of senior devotees, spiritual master, then we can one day get to that place. And that's the whole point of it. So I want to thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Rupanuga Prabhu. Let's give a bigger round of applause for Rupanuga Prabhu. Thank you once again, Prabhu. We do want to remind everyone about a lot of announcements, so please stay tuned with me for the next 10 minutes. Next weekend, that is the September 10th, we will be resuming the Krishna Fun School. So the Krishna Fun School usually happens simultaneously during our Sunday feast between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The last few months, we didn't have events on a regular basis during the summertime, but now that the school's reopened, we will be resuming the Krishna Fun School for kids aged between 3 years to 17 years. There will be a lot of interactive sessions, role plays, stories, and lessons from our scriptures. If you are interested to sign up, please do visit the front desk to get more details. We are accepting new students for registration for the September semester. And as I was speaking about the upcoming Janmashtami celebrations earlier, we want to remind you all once again, the September 6th, that is the Wednesday, we will be celebrating Sri Krishna Janmashtami There will be a special morning program from 4:30 a.m. That will be the first darshan for the day, and there will be darshan throughout the day. So everyone is welcome to visit anytime, but if you want to get the first darshan, please do plan to be here at 4:30 a.m. And from about 4 p.m. in the evening, we'll be having kirtan happening all the way till past midnight. And this year we will only be doing darshans, so there will not be cultural programs or skits or dramas as we have had in the past. This is to accommodate the large crowd that we anticipate on this day of Janmashtami. So the entire temple hall will be having stanchions to direct the crowd. So people who come in, they take darshan. There will be prasad served at Govinda's restaurant, along with some books and some gifts if you like to purchase. And we'll be using the Govinda's exit to leave the temple. So we request that everyone plan your visit accordingly. We don't anticipate everyone to be sitting in the temple hall. There will only be stanchions to direct the crowd to get darshan. And of course, we will be having the Abhishek as well at about 11:30 p.m., 11:30 p.m. and the midnight darshan at 12 midnight to about 12:30. So please plan your trip accordingly. We anticipate lots and lots of people to visit on this special day. And if you would like to visit, feel free to come by in the morning or evening, whatever time works best for each one of you. We also wanted to thank the volunteers who have already signed up in helping for Janmashtami. We are no longer accepting volunteers, but if anyone from the crowd is interested to help out, tonight at about 8:30, 8:45 p.m., we'll be putting up a stage together in the temple hall. So if you are available, please do stay around after the kirtan, which will conclude at about 8:30. We will need some help to, assemble the stage pieces together. So that will be tonight. And of course, all those who volunteered, you would have received either an email or a WhatsApp message about further details on when you can assemble on the day of Janmashtami. If you haven't, please stay tuned. You will receive something by end of tonight. We also want to take this opportunity to speak about lots and lots of fundraising opportunities for this upcoming festival. It's one of the biggest festival in our temple. We will be spending lots on the beautiful deity dress. We'll be serving prasad throughout the evening. There will be special maha sweets, special garlands and decor. So we do request all of you to support in the endeavor of organizing this festival. If you would like to sponsor, please come by the front desk. And this year we will be having the donor abhisheks happening on next Sunday. That is the September 10th. We usually have the donor abhishek on the same day of the festival in the past, but we have moved the donor abhishek to September 10th, which is the next Sunday, between 7 and 8 p.m. So it will be an extended program next Sunday, and the sponsorship for the Abhishek is $251. If any of you would like to sponsor on your family's behalf or friends' behalf, please feel free to come by the front desk, and we will take down your name for the donors Abhishek, which is scheduled to happen on September 10th. Thank you. Just a couple of announcements. So we also want to take a quick moment to speak about a men's only retreat, which is organized by our very own Bhaktimarg Swami. This is called the Mantra Retreat, and this year is going to be the 6th annual men's retreat, which is going to be happening from September 29th to the October 1st. So it's a retreat over the weekend, and some of the special guests include Mahatma Prabhu, Kalakanta Prabhu, Yadunath Prabhu, and many others. And they're going to be speaking on various topics on relating to this men's retreat scheduled to happen at New Vrindavan in the US. So it's in the state of West Virginia. If any one of you is interested, especially the men, or if you know someone who could be interested, please feel free to come by the front desk to speak more about it, or you can also visit the website mantraretreat.org. Thank you. We also want to take a quick moment to thank the cooks for today, which includes Bhadra Krishna Prabhu, Mother Aditi, and their team. So if I can ask all of you to give a big round of applause to Bhadra Krishna Prabhu and Mother Aditi. Thanks to all of them. And the September 7th, sorry I forgot to mention, is the Prabhupada Vyas Puja Festival, which is going to be happening on the Thursday from 11 a.m. onwards. So please do join for both these days of festivities. And one last announcement, if there's anyone named Sheena Kukreja in the audience, or if you know someone named Sheena, please let them know we have their wallet, which is in the front desk. They'll have to come by to claim their wallet. Thank you all, enjoy the feast, and we will see you soon for the 8 p.m. Aarti. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, if I forget, the top exhaust is on.
You on?
Yes, I switched it on just in case I forget, so please check it. Actually, मेरा ना एक YouTube channel है.
YouTube channel है मेरा 300 subscribers.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If you do not find the space in the hall, you can take the prasadam through the stairs to the balcony, have prasadam and leave the plate at the designated place. Please offer the chairs to senior citizens and people with mobility issues. Chairs for seniors and people with mobility issues. Hare Krishna.